Hey there, welcome to the stream. Yes, today we're going to be doing diagnosis. It's that time to look at your tactics. But before we do, how are you guys doing? Hope you guys are well. Yes, quite a few tactics. I'm three tactics. I already popped in the link into the chat. I'll do it one more time in case you guys missed it. That's the link. You can use it to upload your tactic if you want. We've got three tactics in from Discord and maybe more to come later. I do apologize that the stream's a bit earlier, but timing has to change because of the kids in school. And they, until FM26, until I get news about FM26, I mean, I do expect it to be released this year, but then the timings will change. The missus is busy at work, and I'm usually looking after the kids most of the time, plus doing football manager content, plus homeschooling the kids, plus the list goes on. Yeah. So it's challenging finding the time, and if I wake up really early in the morning, it's going to be tough as well. So there's barely any sleep. Plus, we have to look after our health. I've done a really good job of. I was in danger of putting on too much weight last year. I was close to 97 kilos last year, and I was quite shocked because that's the heaviest I've ever been in my entire life. And I got worried. I started having issues with my back, which is of considerable concern to me because I have a cracked spine. So any excess weight, and I'm probably be in a wheelchair. So what happened next was I went on I didn't go on that nonsense keto and all that useless stuff. I hate all these intermittent fasting kind of nonsense. I don't do that shit. So I went on a different angle, and I decided, well, no, first watch what I eat. That's really important. So no more ice creams every day, no more chocolates every day, that kind of thing. Then laid off a lot of the oily food, which I like to. Started working out a lot. So I went from 1 hour workout, so about 2 to 3 hours of workout to get that body back. And so I managed to get back down to 83 kilos now. So I've lost something like 13 kilos in a year. And fit, getting very fit now. So marathon weight is 78 kilos for me. So I'm about 5 kilos away from my marathon weight. And the idea is to keep fit, because if I can't keep fit, that's going to be really bad, right? I mean, like, at my age, you get a lot of complaints from guys about bad knees. Like, I don't get it. Like, a lot of people go like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this, I can't do that. I mean, I can do a deep freaking treble squat, which is literally squatting completely on my feet flat on the ground and bringing my ass all the way as low as you can go, and literally squatting there and just sitting there holding that position for about 15 minutes. When I was at 96 kilos, I couldn't even get halfway down. So now I'm doing a full one. I'm back to my fitness, which is good. Yeah. So that's been great news, man. And that's been the goal. So welcome to the stream, guys. We are going to be looking at tactics today. Hi, Bagaskara. How are you doing? Hope you're well. Rocky, how do you get my wingers to track back in 3-4-3? No wing backs. They don't track back. Yeah, that's it. They don't track back. Defensive wingers, maybe if you play on a low mentality. If you're playing the role of defensive winger, maybe he might come back and help you in a 5, but usually that only happens when the ball transitions into your own half. You can't expect them to quickly go from attacking back into defending unless they're a defensive winger. The defensive winger probably be about the best role you can get. And they will be behind the ball somewhat. But if the ball gets into only when you are in your defending in your third, that's about it. But in the middle third, no, I don't expect them to be there. Just a role. Which is the problem with Football Manager, because in Football Manager back three systems, there have been complaints by a lot of us about the wing backs in back three systems, because we want them to be playing like wingers and defending like wing backs. Unfortunately, that can only be done on higher attacking mentalities with the overlap kicked in, and it's not ideal. So if you want your wingers to track back in the 3-4-3, no matter what, it won't happen. I know people have tried everything from man marking and stuff like that, but as you can tell, I'm going to tell you, it won't work. Yeah. So yeah, my best advice is to go out there and make a system which has got wing backs. You want them to come back and help you defend all the time. Joe Mako, how are you, man? Oh, my kind of flat-footed person here. Yeah, I know. Flat-footedness is an issue for a lot of people, right? So you basically have to go and find something, a sport, or get basically use heel supports, I guess. I had a flat-footed friend once, and he still played tennis with me, but I think he had arch supports, something. Maybe, I don't know. I can't, it kind of hurts your feet. I know he in the army, when we were in the military, he was excused from half the shit I had to do. Yeah. All right, so we got Matty Zucks in with his first tactic, right? So as you know, this is a diagnosis, a chance for me to play with your tactics and give you some insights. I mean, how I feel about a tactic, whether, essentially just my thoughts. Yeah, I like this tactic. It's a very interesting tactic. I like the fact that it's got 3 dedicated players at the back. This will give you like a 3-2 build out, but except this roaming playmaker is going to push up, right? So the roaming playmaker and the box-to-box and the CM on attack will all occupy this space when you are in the final third, right? So they will be acting like a 5. Now, the Trequartista is the interesting role here because he will drop, vacate the space. CM could attack it, or the Ramdauter could attack it. Now, the first thing I checked when he created this tactic, it will never work on high tempo. Was his tempo is set to normal, which is great. You don't want it to be any higher than this. Pass into space is there. I guess pass into space can be quite useful, especially if you've got roles that are going to be attacking the space, and you've got other roles that can find players in spaces like box-to-box, roaming playmaker, libero. All these roles are going to be looking to play those kind of passes. In terms of his defensive line, it's a standard defensive line, so we don't expect these guys to be too high up the pitch. There's an interesting underlap on the left flank. The underlap makes the widest player hold up the ball looking for inside run. Now, the inside run is definitely going to see him on attack. Yeah, so these are all in. I like what I see. Let's see how this tactic plays out. Okay, so what about the attributes that you need for these kind of players? I guess, well, it's good to have attributes that are great for the role, but okay, when it comes to the game and its attributes, right? Now, a lot of people might go, "Oh man, this guy shouldn't be a Ramdauter because he's only got 14 and 11." No, but you kind of want the movement of the player. You know it's going to come in. So the most important attribute for this player, if he's playing as a Ramdauter, is going to be his ability with both feet, because he's going to be in a wider position. He's going to come, he's sometimes going to use his left foot, sometimes going to use his right foot. But principally, he's going to be attacking with his left foot. So if he's a Ramdauter, he's going to be scoring goals. So his left foot has to be good. The right foot can be decent, but if he's only left only, it might be a liability. That means he can only attack. He can't really go down the flanks and do something with the ball. So sometimes you want this player to have decent feet. The other thing, you worried when you choose a role, you're basically going for what the role brings to the table. Like in this case, we don't expect him to be defending a lot, right? But he has aggression and work rate, which means that he will track players, which is good for us. Now, what else do we need from him as a Ramdauter? We need him to finish. So he's got 14 for finishing, 11 for composure. 12 would be the league standard. That's okay, I guess. Then he has got 13 for position, which is like, you just passed. But here, this is the important bit here, acceleration and agility. So if I wanted to play him as a Ramdauter, I probably might as well, because, he has a chance of actually doing decently. So we're going to have to take some players out who are injured. Well, I guess we'll ask him to come. All right, let's go. The interesting role I like in this one, surprisingly, and I'm interested to see how it performs, is actually going to be the no-nonsense fullback who is here. Now, what we'll do is we're going to compare these two. Now, it's very important, right? 3-4-3 with 2 right, left mid. So, if you're looking at this formation, right? Let's see how these two compare. Now, how they behave will depend on where the ball is. There's something in Football Manager called a pendulum, kind of a pendulum effect. So when the ball goes to one side, there's a kind of a pendulum, because we kind of asked for that feature in FM. I asked for that feature in FM. When was Antonio Conte manager of Chelsea? That's when I asked for it. So I was looking for the pendulum effect whenever teams attack. So basically what happens in real football, the real world, is when a team attacks this way, this side stays anchored. So it's like a pendulum, right? And it goes this way, this side gets angled. It's also part of relationism and relativism in South American football as well. So as you can see, this is a no-nonsense fullback, but he's a bit deeper. That's only because the ball is on this side of the pitch. Okay, now ball comes up. Let's see how he reacts, right? Okay, this is interesting. Now you look at how deep this guy is now compared to this. So this is the inverted fullback. No, it's not. That's a libero. This is the inverted fullback. Okay, so the inverted fullback is here, goes back. The ball is now. I'm waiting to see when the ball comes to the right. How far? Oh, that's a terrible mistake from the. Oh wow, we almost conceded a goal, man. Thoughts on Lyon relegation? I don't know, man. They're kind of sad, no? But now their players are going to be available for a lot of other clubs. That's the good news, The bad news is, it's very sad to see such a historic club go down. No, it's very, very sad. I'm not happy about the situation, but there's a lot of financial hoo-has going on in the leagues right now. Yeah, so I don't think they'll be they are the first and the last, And I think a lot of these leagues, apart from England, the happiest league is England. Okay, we lost. This is terrible. Mings has been playing poorly since the start of the game. I've noticed he's made a few mistakes. Okay, so here this is his wrong positioning of Mings. Okay, Mings is this is his attributes aren't good. Either his attributes aren't good enough or he's just being an idiot. Okay, take your pick. Here is a no-nonsense fullback. Again, Konsa. I mean, I do like this tactic, but it's one of those tactics, right? If you're going to play a 4-3-3 with these kind of roles, you can only do it with a very good team. Because you're looking at a lot of roles making that move up the pitch. So you can see the pressure that's on Konsa. Konsa is already committed. He's already on a yellow card. And the moment you get a yellow card and a backline like this, it just points to problems high up the pitch, not him. So Konsa is that because in this kind of a setup, when you're doing a 3-2 build-out with a back four, that BPD is very important. His positioning is very important. There we go. This was the CM on attack looking for the Trequartista again, or in this case, the round router, because I know the Trequartista, and he missed out, right? He couldn't play the pass because of pass into space. I want to remove pass into space at the moment because you don't really need pass into space when you've got so many hoo-ha roles, no? Who can do risky passes. Oh, that was a pity. We got inside. That was a nice transition. Again, quality of players in this kind of tactics is going to be very important. See, this is our, I'm pretty certain this is our Trequartista, and that's our Ramdauter. See where the Trequartista is dropped? See, the Trequartista is supposed to be the furthest forward. Now, he's dropped here. This is the roaming playmaker. I think this is the box-to-box midfielder. This has been created because I think of the underlap and the focus play. No, there's no focus play. There's only an underlap. Okay, the underlap, the widest player will hold out the ball looking for inside run. So you can create a few interesting, I think, movement patterns, I guess. Yeah. So again, Konsa with the yellow card. James looking long. Again, that's the pass into space. We're going to remove pass into space in the start of the second half. Konsa again, he's not playing that badly. 4 here. RPM waiting for the ball. We want, again, it's great. I'm happy you're not using play out defense. What I'm a bit worried about is your distribution. Now, if I was going to do something like this, right, I'd probably not leave it up to the keeper to decide. I'll just go distribute to the flanks where we have more players. And you have a numeric advantage. You have a numbers advantage on the opposition. So if you look at our formation right now, we're playing against a 4-2-3-1. We have a libero, no? So we've got a 3-man midfield. They've got a 3-man midfield too. But when we attack with the Trequartista, we actually have a 4-man midfield because the Trequartista is going to drop, right? And the libero comes up, right? So that adds 2 to our 2, but we have 3. So we should be dominating passing. So what's going on here? So that's something you have to ask yourself that question. So if you play this kind of a tactic and you find yourself, if you got to ask questions, serious questions, no? Okay, so either if I was playing this tactic and I'm started a game out and I've got I've got this set up, right? Let's go inside here. I don't know whether I can show the formations here. Okay. So we've got this formation. You can see this is a Volante going up. This is a ball winning midfielder, right? I'll kick my camera out. Okay. And I got, so we can overpower this midfield. They've only got 3. We only got 3. We got 1, 2, 3. We're already even Stevens with them. The libero makes it 4. And this guy drops it, makes it 5. So why the hell are we a goal behind? We shouldn't be. We should be like completely destroying this formation. So in a situation like this, right, if you see something like this, you got to understand the numbers game, right? So our numbers are there for us to win this game. We have to OI. Yeah, we don't have to OI like crazy. I mean, in this kind of a setup, all you got to do with the OI is the simple OIs. You don't have to go and do crazy OIs. What we've done is we're putting pressure on the back line so that we want them to clear the ball quickly. This player up here, if we time mark him, yeah, it might help because he is a playmaker. There's a target for is dropping off and he's creating space. All we got to do, first things first, is keep the ball, which we're not doing. Let's see what we can do. The Trequartista is not going to help us defend. Nice. Konsa won the ball back. Konsa is actually the hero of our system. Tyrone Mings has been the problem child of our system. Again, not seeing much, right? So we have to do something at halftime. I got to change something. Again, DRB. I like this. The Raumdauter. I do like using a Raumdauter myself. Okay, the no-nonsense fullback, there's not much difference between the no-nonsense fullback and IFD at the moment. But what we can expect with the underlap is the left back to be a bit more, our left back to be a bit more, it'll go high up the pitch. Good work from Konsa, read that danger. Zaniolo with the ball. Finds Ramsey. Moreno now playing this position, looking good. Douglas Luiz again. Bailey, the Raumdauter, brings it back to the ball playing defender. See, this is why I say we should not have any problems in midfield. Look at our numbers, man. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want to be really. This is our one box to box. This is our roaming playmaker. This is our libero. This is our Trequartista, and this is our CM on attack. This is so now when you look at this and you go, hang on a minute, why is this guy here? That is the question you gotta ask yourself. Why is he here? Why can't he be here? So how do we position him here? Should be the question that we ask, right? Because there's always a gap in this hole. So that is what we're going to address as well. We're going to move them roles around to address that gap in the tactic. So now we have a gap in front of the roaming playmaker and in front of the CM attack. CM attack is going forward, right? So again, he goes forward. Watch this, Tyrone goes forward and roaming playmaker is here. So what we want to do is we want to shove this guy to the right. The underlap does help us, but we can solve that later with the focus play. So we move the central midfielders a bit more closer to the left after that. So I've looked at one possible solution. One is we're going to remove pass into space. 2, we're going to address this gap here. This is the gap we're going to fix now. Okay? Because we want him to be here. All right, and then with focus play to the left, we will get this guy to shift to this side. All right, so we got 2 more minutes. Libero, it's okay. I know I've made tactics where I've got all 10 of them going up to score goals. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to do that. I mean, the thing about a 4-3-3 is it's got 7 players that can potentially help you defend, but you got to cover the zones correctly. is one of the tactics. We got too many players defending. Okay, all right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move the libero here and the BPD here. Okay, BPD is coming here, libero is coming here, and he's a libero on defense, so it's okay. So we got all this now, right? Okay. So he's gonna be here. This guy is Konsa is a libero. Can Konsa play as a libero? I think he can. Iron Mings is now just gonna be a ball playing defender. That's fine. Okay. All right. So what we can do is not, and then we can remove the pass into space and just do this, distribute to the flanks instead of the first one. And let's just try make those small changes and take it from there. Goalkeeper did well. So now we're just asking our keeper to kick the ball. Again, shots from range shouldn't bother us. Our Ramdaughter is playing quite well. Okay, now we see what has happened. Look at my shape now. That's a big difference in our shape now. Now I've got two players here instead of one offset and one big gap. Now I don't have. Now the gap is here, right? We focus playing on the left. So every time now that we have the ball, we'll cover that gap. So I'm hoping that we've eliminated the gap. Okay, because 4-3-3s, they can be fun. I know what he's doing. He's using a roaming playmaker. We're gonna stick with the roaming playmaker. We're not gonna use a DLP or a Regista. I'm gonna keep the flavor of his tactic. I don't like to use Registas in a 4-3-3. I don't like to be so defensive. I know why he's doing this, because he wants to have the numbers in attack. Yes, defensively, I mean, if you want to hold out a lead and you want to defend, yeah, you can change that role to a DLP. But what if you want to attack a team? You know, then this makes sense. Because remember, this is still a 3-2 build out. Yeah. So he's got the perfect. Now we got a box in midfield. As you can see now, when we bring the ball up the pitch, we literally have this setup. 1-2-3, 1-2-3. So there's no need to have a register. It's like you're literally getting one player to hang back for no rhyme or reason. Right, so there is no need for the register in this tactic. Hey, Kimpy, how are you, man? Godspurs, how are you? Again, we're not playing against the AI. We're not playing against a human. We're playing against the AI. Against humans, of course, it depends on the tactics people use. But sometimes when you're playing this game, you want the option of like, I want to throw more players into attack with my 4-3-3. What do I do? Most people will tell you go more attack duties. You don't need to have more attack duties. Sometimes you just need to change some of the roles and duties to get more players involved. Okay, it's now we got an issue. Like, the only thing I don't like about 4-3-3 is when you do substitutions, you got to think about a lot of players. That's the thing. Now you got Kamara and Luis, and I don't think I have enough players to make the changes, man. Okay, we're going to take him off. Who can play as a roaming playmaker in this team, man? I mean, Diego Carlos is basically a defender. Well, just leave him. I got no one else I can bring on. Okay, very nice. Ramsey's in the house. Defended well. Yeah, we're defending quite well. Yeah. So it's the gaps have been eliminated. And now we're not playing a tactic where we are building out play from the back. But what happens if we do, right? Okay, let's try that. Because now we can still do that. Yeah. Play out the back. Now we're gonna run and pass because I want to score goals. I'm taking a risk right now. What's this super early streaming, by the way? Now I've got the kids, so I have to handle the kids. Plus the timings and all that. Yeah. So it's either I stream early or I don't stream at all. So and then if I stream late, then I get 1 hour of sleep every single day. This way I can still keep fit, have a healthy lifestyle, and still stream. Otherwise, it's gonna be impossible for me to stream, create content. I gotta think about FM26 and what's sustainable. Okay, Bailey. Okay, obviously their long kicks are not working for us, right? Okay, so let's try. Now we have to change this and do this. All right, and then we'll counter as well. I think the tactic has got a semblance of good shape already. And a 4-3-3 counter press in the center, we should have no problems if we lose the ball. We'll have the numbers to win the ball back. Diaby, the Trequartista goes left. Again, a nice move. Okay, so I think this tactic now is a lot more solid. A lot more solid. Famous last words as we concede a goal from a set piece. Yeah, but I like what I see so far. We've given it a bit of a left-sided kick. Ramdauter is still giving us good numbers. The Ramdauter is the best performer on the pitch right now. But we conceded a goal eventually. Konsa is on a yellow card. This kind of a system, you really need the two defenders to be quite good if you're going to play libero. Because the last man has to have jumping reach. Nah, we don't need. There won't be much of a difference between a Trequartista and an F9. But our problem is not the upfront scoring goals. Our problem right now is a 4-3-3. If your DM, right, gets tired and your backline has got problems, you're finished. You need to have 7. I don't have the players to play this kind of tactics well. Because you need a very strong midfield. Now, there will be news, I guess, for FM26 in the next couple of months. I think SI will not reveal anything until they have something to reveal they think is worth revealing. Wow, that's a lot of reveals. I don't think that we should be too concerned. Like anybody who has played these games long enough knows that it's better for them to work on something that is bug-free and has no issues than to give us something that's riddled with bugs. Because that's happened before. Okay? And those old enough will remember that. In fact, a lot of gaming companies, you can see what's happened, right? Once your midfield is gone, you're finished. This tactic, right? Once you have midfielders, like the RPM is now very tired, game over. Yeah, so you're gonna have to be very good at finding yourself a very strong a group of players to play in this tactic. These tactics are not for the faint-hearted. And I'm not surprised we're losing 4-1. Like, we don't have like 4 central midfielders of quality. So that's like too expensive. This for me, a 4-3-3 is the most expensive formation in Football Manager. Very expensive. You will struggle to find unless you got a luxury money wise, then you go for it. So like, if you look at a lot of other companies, right? Those that give a lot of and a lot of companies like to compare themselves to like, oh, watch what Baldur's Gate did or some other company, right? But not a lot of people play Baldur's Gate. Yeah. So they are a niche company. SI is a niche company. So they can afford to sit back and go, you know what, we're going to take some time to work on this game. And when it's good and done, we'll share it with the world. Yeah, and I think that's a correct strategy. Okay, this is fine. I mean, in fact, I have a tactic that's very similar. Wait, let me think. I have a tactic that's very similar. Where's my Hungary 4-4-2? Wait, let me see. Hungary 4-4-2 Lip FB. Is this a Hungary final? I think this is the one. So, this is my Hungary final tactic. Box to box, winger. I use IIB Libero. This is my Hungary tactic. And this is your Tokyo Verde tactic. Okay, what's the difference between our tactics? Okay, your tactic is a Bok basic 4-4-2. Okay? It's got target forward, advance forward. This is what I'll say is a wing play tactic. It has to be a wing play tactic because you're going to be using, you got these roles here that encourage the use of the flanks. Okay? I'm okay lah. Usual. There are 50-50 rolls. I'm doing okay. This is like sit back and try to score goals against the opposition. With it's gonna be if we don't have a target forward, we don't have a target forward. Because Zanila has to be a target forward. That's about it. That's the only target forward we have in our team. Ollie Watkins is injured. Out for 2 weeks. Torres, Chambers, Mings, Moreno. What would for me, right? If you want to do something like this, you can get this fullback to go on attack. You want to play a mid block. You might want to get this guy to defend a bit deeper. You want to keep the line. This is fine. You can even go step up more to encourage them to squeeze the space so that the opposition don't they don't work the channels, right? Or they don't work the spaces in between this group. But I would say that we'd have to make a few changes to the tactic. Yeah. Playing Newcastle, they have a formation right now that's basically a 4-3-3, which has got numbers in midfield, right? If we can keep the ball, the target forward is going to be able to operate in spaces where there isn't anyone there. Can you use the editor just to test the tactic to remove injury? No, I don't want to. I don't remove injuries. Yeah. This is just watching the tactic. Yeah, because even though I remove injuries, like some formations, you need certain kinds of players in your team, right? You need players. I can, if you're gonna get like the best players or the best tactics, and I'm telling you, right, almost any tactic will be on winning streaks all the time. Yeah, we don't learn anything. At least sometimes you get injuries and you get you can't use the perfect players. You can actually see with the tactics how the tactic struggles. Where are the gaps in the tactic? Rather than getting all the best players and testing a tactic out, no man. This we're not sharing the tactic. I ain't seeing this tactic in the folder. No, you won't be able to see the tactics in the folder. You just upload only. The link just lets you upload the tactics. Okay. So far, we've been defending. This is a mid block, so you expect the players to be defending here. Yeah, in your area as well. This is going to be it, man. One thing about... I always tell people this, no? If you want to play a mid block, you better make sure your defenders can win the headers. If you can't win headers, though, you got no right playing a mid block. I'm just saying this, right? Like, our defenders aren't good enough. Or just remove injury. Yeah, can. Maybe I'll try that. I can remove injuries. But not much. See, jumping is 14. Heading 14. Positioning 13. And that's the 14-13 is still not good enough. If you want to play a mid block, better have players who can win headers. In my opinion, right? Any side this is gonna sound really bizarre. No? Yeah. The only thing you do as an underdog is your defensive line. The only thing you touch. If you are a weak team, you play with a lower defensive line or a standard defensive line. Okay? Everybody should be playing on a high block. That's it. It's as simple. For me, sometimes it's as simple. I know people are going, no, I want to play mid block. I don't want to commit more my players. But wait, have you seen where the midfielders defend? They defend here, no? Whereas if I play with a high block, my midfielders are defending here. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather have my midfielders defending in the midfield area than in our half. But if you want to, yeah. But make sure that you have players that can defend. Yeah, if you want to play it. Because the biggest consideration you want to do with a mid block is defend against a cross. That's the thing that you have to worry about. So Chambers is still doing okay. They managed to get a goal from I don't know who, but they got a again, nicely done. They won the ball here. See, this is the zone that they're winning the ball in. Like this line here is where they're gonna start in a mid block up to here. But this area is where all the strikers are committing themselves, right? So you can see these guys are gonna track. See? Track. And then now they jump. Now they jump here. See, they're all jumping in this zone. So who are the players that are not involved here? These two strikers. Then the ball comes deeper, the strikers drop deeper. So if you don't want the back line to go up, then it's your defensive line. So your defensive line stays a bit deeper. So far, we are having a few issues behind our team. Nice transition. Good. Target forward and advance forward. Target forward and advance forward in a mid block. That's how I set it up. Again, we consider one goal with a header, but the rest of, I mean, we should not have problems against a 4-3-3. We'll make a few changes later. We tried to work a mid block with a mediocre side first, and I just gave up. Yeah. If you're a mediocre side and you play mid block, you're asking for trouble. That's all I know. You're just asking for it. So you're thinking, I'll be able to defend, right? But it doesn't really work that way, Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm still maintaining the mid block, but going higher mentality. This will shift my block higher up the pitch, right? Okay, but my defensive line, I'm going to drop it so my back line doesn't go too high up the pitch. I'm going to step up more, squeeze that space. And I'm going to... no, I cannot go wider, so it's not that good. I don't know if this is going to work. We're going to change this guy to a BMW. A BMW. I'm changing the guy to a BMW. Do you like it? Yeah, baby. Wing on attack. How are you doing, dude? You're a BMW today. Counter press, no need. Okay. Alright, step up more. Pass into space. Alright, let's go. Kamara for MZ. Okay. All right, let's try something different, okay? So what I've done is I dropped my defensive line slightly, so the team is going to drop a bit back, right? Do you think Liverpool can win Champions? No way. I don't even think Liverpool will win the title next season. I don't think Liverpool are title favorites next season. The entire backline is changing. They're going to have how many new players in the team? Liverpool's backline will be unrecognizable next year. All the people are you're gonna have to have new chants, man. I think we'll play Douglas Luiz. That's our first change. Moreno is going to need a physio on. Oh, man. We're losing players. Okay, Moreno comes off. I'll play John McGinn for Jacob Ramsey. Leon Bailey will come off for I don't know who. Okay, Morgan Rogers. We got no more wingers. What's the best attributes of low block? No pressure. What's no pressure? Attributes of low block. Whatever it is, if you want to play a low block, you better have jumping reach, heading, positioning, aggression, concentration. Those are the attributes you need for your defenders at least. Yeah. Because if you don't have defenders with, we throw in, we lost. Even though we kept our backline back. Why do you think Rafinha did so well? There was a lot of movement in the tactic. Yeah. Barcelona system a lot of movement. So I think with the movement afforded to Rafinha, it really, really translated into a good system for him. Hey, we got to go back. So now he might be offside, but I thought he didn't. Yeah, this was the transition we wanted from back to front really quick. Because in a mid block, right, you don't want to waste too much time as well. Like, you don't want to like take your own sweet time to get the ball into attack. You want it to go from your. So you only have one attack duty, right? So I went and set up 2 attack duties. So we gotta then add focus and focus. So bring the central midfielders closer to the line, the side of the focus. I think you got to make small changes to your tactic if you want to play a mid block effectively. Mid blocks, right? You don't need a high defensive line. Right, when you play a high defensive line, you're also asking your back line to support the midfield attack. So when you go back and then they got to run all the way back, don't worry about the defensive. Just keep the defensive line standard. Don't need a high defensive line. We're playing better right now. We're getting into the final third because we got 2 feeders, 2 wingers to feed the ball. So I would not play a high defensive line. If you want to play a high defensive line, you're talking about getting your fullbacks involved in everything. So then I would suggest starting to play with things like a step up more offside traps. Then, squeeze the space. So if you wanted to play a different way, I want to go for goals, right? Okay, maybe you do it like this. Like this, right? Now your fullbacks are very engaged in the attacking phase of the game. All right, then you got counter press as well. So this is like a more aggressive version of a mid block, where you are playing you are squeezing the space so they don't have much, but it's extremely risky. My advice is go with the wingers on attack on both sides, one ball winning midfielder. If you wanted to use the mentality to shift your defensive line higher, or use because just now we were playing on a high defensive line, right? Just now we were playing high defensive line. What I did was I dropped my defensive line to standard defensive line, right? So that lowers my defensive line. But by shifting mentality up, I moved both the defensive line and the line of engagement slightly higher up the pitch. So we're not so deep anymore. We did okay, but in a mid block, you want to play aggressively in that mid block. No, there's no such thing as is standard defensive line step up more the same as a high defensive line. Defensive line is a defensive line. Yeah. All step up more does is it tells your team to play the offside trap. So it only really affects your back line. Whereas a defensive line affects everybody on the pitch, including your strikers, because it's telling the whole team where their defensive line is. All right. So the fullbacks pay attention to the defensive line because it's half high up the pitch. They're going to have to go to how close they are going to be to midfield. So it's got there's no relationship within what you're suggesting, Bagaskara. Liverpool not going to win the Champions League. No way, man. Liverpool will be lucky to come in second next season. Liverpool are in... Liverpool will have a new back line. The only thing that Liverpool have from last season going to next season is going to be the midfield. Raven Gravenberch and what's his face? McAllister. That's our midfield. That's the only thing that's a constant for us. The rest of the team has changed, except for the goalkeeper. So the only three constants. Alisson, McAllister, and Ryan Gravenberch. Now, in midfield, Liverpool will most likely be attacking midfield with Florian Wirtz. On the left flank, most likely Cody Gakpo. Because Luis Diaz is going. There's no way Luis Diaz is going to be in the club next season. I doubt he's going to be a Liverpool player. I think they're going to let him go. Konate is last season. Mark Guehi is somebody that Liverpool might be trying to sign because he fulfills the homegrown rules. No other... I mean, then the other defender that Liverpool could be chasing for is Everton's Jared Brantwaite. But whether or not he's going to cross the... whether he's going to be... whether or not he wants to endear himself to Liverpool fans and start a war with Evertonians, I don't know whether he's going to go that far. And then on on the right flank, we got Mo Salah, but Mo Salah now has got a lot of work to do, right? Because he's going to have to, there's a whole dynamic now he's got to work again. Whether he's, but one thing good for Mo Salah, I don't think he has to defend as much as he did last season. Because last season, the only reason why TA looked good half the time was because Mo Salah was helping him out a lot of the time. Because Mo Salah kept tracking back every time to cover up for TA's mistakes. Now, next season, TA is going to be a Real Madrid, so he's going to be making all those mistakes without having a Mo Salah to help him out. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting next season. I think most Florian Wirtz is going to play in the AM position. Yeah. So we got Shadow Striker, winger, support, roaming, playmaker, libero. Nice. Oh, very, very attacking tactic. This is one of those like, oh guys, we're coming for you. You already like it or not. I like this tactic. This is a very interesting tactic. We got to just remove all injuries. Sheesh. We can't go squad. Remove all injuries. Okay, done. All right. Everybody is available? Yeah, no. But we can't make everybody. Can we do that? Everybody's condition is 100%. No, only thing we can do is that. All right, let's go and see what happens though. Nunes is going. David Nunes might be going to Napoli. No, Liverpool will not be making any more signings now. In my opinion, I don't think Liverpool can afford to spend 400 million in this transfer market because of the PSR savings they made last year. Because last year they didn't spend so much, right? But they made close to 1 billion in revenue last year. Okay, so it means that Liverpool can spend at least 400 million in the transfer market this season. They can actually rebuild the entire team if they wanted to. They can. They have the financial, they're in a very good financial position to do it. However, Liverpool's floating facility for credit is about 300 million, of which they have used up about, I think, 120. But now after Florence, I'm not so sure. They will probably need, Liverpool like to be cash, cash handy. Okay, so they're probably going to sell some players. Konate is not signing the contract. He wants to go to Real Madrid. So Konate most likely will be replaced. And I see Guehi or Branthwaite as the most likely contenders. And he's going to be an English player. He's going to be an English player. He's going to be somebody who's homegrown, 100%. I think the next few signings are all mostly going to be homegrown players. We have a couple of young homegrown players. I mean, I can see Ben Dope might be leaving the club as well. So quite a few players might be leaving. This is a very nice strikerless tactic. It's adventurous, that's for sure. Oh, look at the transition, man. We are playing Fulham. I mean, I'm not saying Fulham are terrible, but I would expect to see some transitional attacks from back to front, right, to expose our tactic. Why? Might be Maguire coming to Liverpool? Like that's ever going to happen. Now, the other team you have to watch out for next season, and I think a lot don't rule out Manchester United, and do not rule, and Man City are going to be very strong next season. They did a lot of their signings last season, and they strengthened their squad even more. So they are in a very good, healthy position as well. United have what I think could be one of the game-changing signings of the season, the last few seasons for them, Cunha. The only problem with Cunha is going to be, how does he work with Bruno Fernandes? I don't know whether they're going to have a good chemistry going forward, because Cunha is known to be like a Cantona kind of player. I, myself, don't bother me with tactics. Just let me go onto the pitch and I'll do my own thing. That's Cunha for you, no? So it's going to be very interesting to see how he fits into Ruben Amorim's structured tactical system, because that's the only thing that's got me going. Ruben Amorim's system isn't built for those super creative kind of players who can, be given free latitude to roam, right? Cunha is a player that doesn't go for tactical team talks, doesn't want to take part in any tactical sessions. He likes to come to the football pitch. He's perfect for the new United hierarchy, which I don't know what they're trying to build there. Yeah, it's going to be quite crazy. I like Cunha, but I don't think he suits them. This will be considered a diamond, because you see, look, he's got Because he's got a libero coming here, so he's got 3, right? So it won't be a circular tactic because these enganches, the shadow strikers are coming. Because look at the shadow strikers, they have moved into channels, so they can go here, 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 here. Wingers going up, shadow strikers go, roaming playmakers go, enganche will shift to the left or the right, and their fullbacks are just coming in here, and his fullbacks are sitting in these positions, running up. Is it similar to the strikerless tactic I made earlier this season? Yeah, I made a similar tactic for you guys. That was quite fun. This is quite fun, no, this tactic. Yeah. I made one which has got a winger, fullback, and I did one with the fullback cutting inside. Remember the whole false fullback phase I went through? Where every tactic had a false fullback, right? I went through that phase, right? All my tactics had the playmaking fullback. So it was quite fun. But don't sleep on the playmaking fullback. No, it's also one of the strongest roles in Football Manager at the moment. If you can set him up in such a way that he doesn't run into too many players. See, the false fullback and the roaming playmaker and the libero turn your tactic into some kind of a quarterback monster at the back. So you got a lot of these. So these fullbacks come in here, giving the libero and the roaming playmaker a lot of options to release the ball. Like they can play short, they can play long. Yes, your biggest risk is going to be the center of the park. If you find a wrong roaming playmaker, you are toast. Okay. So as you can see, this strikerless tactic is doing quite well. I love it. It just goes all the way, like, hey, hello, I'm here. I mean, it's a bit disappointed that with another thing, a strikerless tactic, don't expect, like, you might get very high XGs, but you won't get a lot of goals. Okay. I won't be surprised, though. Let's see. You see all the chances that we created? This was like literally God's gift to clear-cut chances, man. The goal that they scored was literally a tap-in. Can't get any easier than that. No? See the false fullback, because it's cut inside, sit narrow, right? It affects his defensive decision-making. Look at this. This is what sit narrow does to your fullback. That's why I always tell people, whenever you put sit narrow on wide midfielders, you gotta understand what he does. See, here, he's gonna come in for any ball. Normally, you think that he only worries about this, but he'll come here, no? Okay, because he's sitting narrow. That's what you told him to do. There we go. He made that move. So even though you have a player here who's supposed to take care of him, he came in as well. That's what sit narrow does. So you got to know that when you play sit narrow, he's going to target this side. So you need to make sure that if you play sit narrow, you also have a role like this in front of him. This is why it works. So I've noticed my sit narrow always has wingers. Yeah. I don't like to play sit narrow without any wingers. That's too dangerous. Well, we consider an equalizer, unfortunately. Yeah, I know. Strikerless tactics have a high XG, right? All right, we're gonna change a thing here. We're gonna low cross, work ball into box. I'm gonna go very attacking. Then we're gonna counter press, distribute to fullbacks. Okay, let's go. One thing I do with strikerless tactics is I play on very high mentalities. I never play on balance. It's either attacking or very attacking. And I never play on positive as well. So I push them, because your tactic is so deep already. Without a striker, you need to push it higher, and you do that with mentality. Yeah, we don't have any more players. Okay. Diaby for Ramsey, Leon Bailey for John McGinn. I don't know who you're putting on the pitch. This guy for whoever he is. Uh-oh. Yep, they scored a goal. Yeah. Hey, Onana is going as well. Onana is going to be out, right? Has United signed their next striker? All right, goalkeeper. Yeah, Onana's time at Old Trafford is probably over as well. He made so many mistakes, man. There we go. I mean, I think what you need to do is you need to play this on higher attacking mentalities. You will going to be playing a setup like this. Of course, you can send them forward. Huh? This guy can just hang out. Huh? You can do that. I think it'll make your tactic. It'll give your tactic some options. But your fullbacks are going to get tired very fast. There's a lot of through balls in the tactic, no? Okay. Yeah, I think better to get those fullbacks on attack. Yeah, we could have this tactic we should have won. Okay. I think after having played a tactic, I think what you can do with this tactic is to give it a bit more zip. I think what you can do here is you don't need a roaming playmaker. Just play a DLP. You can play a DM on defense as well. Just want this. You want to lock him down, right? Then you can launch these guys now to attack the gaps. So these guys will attack the gaps because this Enganche is just here. So they attack the gaps. You got a two. Basically, you're gonna have these three guys defending all the time. And then once you score goals, you can any time you can decide who is staying back. Yeah. And then you can definitely play against teams and do this as well. You can go down to the byline. Oh, you can play on very attacking mentality. Yeah. So you make a very strong defensive pivot here. This guy comes up, so he's basically a one-man defense, but he's got two in front of him. But when you lose the ball, then it becomes this guy will drop in. His priority is not to go forward because you already got these two guys going forward, right? So his priority is if I lose the ball, I'm gonna come back and I'll form a two. So you're still doing the same thing, right? You got in a lot of tactics, they have got fullbacks on attack, fullback on attack, and you got three in the middle, right? What difference is this? No difference, right? You're just making it a bit more safer because you're gonna smash to the center. So you can make it a bit more funky with this tactic. Okay, let's see what other tactics we got from the community today. We've got say it out loudly with a tactic. Let's download this. All right. Let's see what your tactic does. 4-3-3. I don't have players. Nice. I like this tactic. Okay, it's a two-man defense, but a bit of an offset. With a Mazzala here and a winger on support F9. This can work. Yeah, track what the... Once again, I don't have the players for this kind of tactical system. Right. I do not have players for this. Because my problem is I don't have enough midfielders in this kind of a tactic. If you want to play this kind of a tactic, you better have the midfielders for it. BP alone. Yeah, that one, the BP alone was too risky. Because the guy in front is a roaming playmaker. So, and the libero is going to be the only... And then what happens is you got to wait for the roaming playmaker to come and help you defend. And then sometimes the roaming playmaker is not there, right? Then the liberos will drop it. So you got a hole right in the center. So we want to plug that hole for especially when it comes to like the loose balls. So yeah, that's the reason why we had to have a defend duty there. So it can be an anchor man. The link in this comment says, yeah, I know, because it's from BY, it's from a Football Manager 23 lah. I didn't change the name of the link. I don't create a new folder every time there's a Football Manager edition. I just rename the folder, that's it. The link might still be 23 there. Because the link is not generated by me, it's generated by Dropbox. Yeah. All right, here we go. Buendia. But there's a Discord folder. That is not the public folder that I shared just now with you guys. That's a different folder. The link I just shared is the public folder link. The one I just checked is the Discord folder first, because the public one is here. I'm gone there yet. Yeah. There we go. This is a public one. These are the ones that you guys just used. Right. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 tactics that have been uploaded. There we go. Yep, we got 4 tactics. So we got these tactics already downloaded. So once again, 4-3-3s are not meant for average teams. Yeah. You want to play a 4-3-3, it better be a good team. So my team isn't good enough for 4-3-3. So we are playing a mid block again. 7 players in a mid block. No. 7 players in your defensive third, and you got F9 in front. I guess you're trying to tire out the opposition. Again, if not my ideal way of setting things up, because then you got F9 coming, you got a Trequartista as well. You got AP, you got Mazar, you got so many creative roles here. And no one here with a clear responsibility to score goals. But because you're playing a mid block with a setup like that, I wouldn't change it. If you have a good team, yeah, you could be defensive, because 7 players, defensively rugged. Right. Normally hard to beat, no, 7-man tactic. Yeah, because there are 7 players defending, right? Except for this guy. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players against their 7. So they have to come higher and higher up the pitch. So Buendia, the Trequartista, looking to keep the ball. There go Diaby. Great goal from Zenny. Yeah. So it's a defensively okay. You got 7 players back defending. So like I said, I'm not going to change it, because if you have the players to play this, go for it. And I like this. DM here, Libero coming up here. Mez is going to say AP is going up. So the Libero forms a 2 with this DM. Fullback is attacking, but the only issue with this tactic is actually this flank. So you have to make sure this fullback is quality and the CD is quality. Otherwise, what's going to happen is the left flank gets opened up. And I wouldn't expect a lot of crazy goals. Tielemans will come on now for who, man? Zan. I guess we're going to have to bring him on for McGinn. You need fresh legs somewhere. We bring Ollie Watkins and put him on for Zaniolo. Okay, that's it. No other play. We got no other. We don't have anybody else we can bring on. I wish we had more deep midfielders. Once again, the only reason why people would struggle with a 4-3-3 is because your bench is terrible. You cannot depend on the 11 that you have to finish the game. You need to have another DM. Basically, if you don't have 6 defensive midfielders in your squad, I wouldn't play this tactic. There, we almost conceded a goal, right? You can see if your players are on yellow cards in the center of the park, we lose the ball. It's good. It's a good tactic. Like the one I won't change too much in this tactic. But once again, right? If you're an average team playing this mid block, please make sure you have defenders, players who can defend, because you're gonna have to defend for large periods of time. We are lucky we're playing against Man City. Because you know what the thing about Man City is, it tries to attack, right, by camping in your half. But because we got 7 back, they're going to have to bring all their players forward. So they will be vulnerable on the transitions. That's how we scored our goals. Right? We scored our first goal on the transition. Alvarez has scored the equalizer. Yeah. Okay, it's unfortunate. much higher defense, I would drop it to a lower standard or lower defensive line. Should have done that just now. Because when you play with a much higher defensive line, you're getting everybody involved, no, in the attack. So they're attacking and defending as a group. After the goal, I should have dropped the defensive line down to standard or lower defensive line so that the back line doesn't get too involved. I just want to make sure that we walk away with a point. The reason why we consider the goal is if you look at the goal and how it was scored, right? It is because it was a goal scored after we had lost possession of the ball. Right. If you look at this, we will see what I mean. So this is us, no? We were attacking, we had the ball, right? So this is just off their possession. So we were attacking. Look at where our players are. Okay. Now they're not going to drop back into our half because it's a mid block. So I don't expect these three to be defending yet. Okay. So when they play in this position, we're in trouble, right? Because these guys are here in these positions because they are supporting the midfield. So that's why they're so high up. Now, when this happens, it's because we've told our team to have a much higher defensive line. Everybody is further positioned high up the pitch. So we lose the ball, but these guys are still not back yet. So this is what we call a transitional event, right? So now they cleared the ball, but because of a much higher defensive line, everybody's going to be further up. See the huge gap now exists here. So they got basically their 4 versus our 4. All he needs to do is get up. Now they're reacting to a transitional event, right? So much higher defensive line. Like I've said before, your team can be beaten by a chip. The gap is very shallow. It's a very shallow gap, which they exploited. So defensive lines are great if you want to get your back line involved in the attacks, but it can be a disaster. So I like to drop my defensive line every time. One of the reasons why we played so well last season in Europe with René Caravos was because we play a low defensive line. We never committed our backlines to a lot of the attacks. All right, so we've got all these tactics coming in from all you guys. We're going to take a quick look. Discord has got no more tactics. Okay, so we're going to see how your tactics look like. And there, downloads. Hey, what's going on here? Did I download the tactics at 25th Discord? Public 25th, okay. Public 3, 25th. Today's the 25th of June, at 5:15 p.m. Read the time, boy. Okay. Right. Oh no. Downloads wrong place. All right. Okay. All right, let's look at this tag. Let's arrange them. Midoriya, Hansi Flick. Roby Playmaker, DM, Wingback. Okay, that is not bad. I would probably change this role to a fullback. Wait, let me think. Roaming Playmaker is going to move up. Oh, yeah, you got to use wingback. Nothing. The problem with this, right, is going to be your passing. Yeah, don't play shorter. Play mix. This better be a world-class fullback. Because this wingback has got a lot of work to do. This roaming playmaker is going to go up. This guy is going to push up. This guy is got dribble more. There, you need dribble more on this guy. This guy doesn't need. So he has to bring the ball up. You can also play a libero here if you want to, but that's very risky. Then you lose the use of the wingback as an outlet. But you can play him as an inverted fullback if you want to. Is to get that. The problem in this tactic is going to be this position here. Now, if you're going to do this, I would just focus play down one side of the pitch, not both sides of the pitch. Now, the thing is this, right? If you're focusing play down the left and the right, Roby Playmaker goes up, DM comes to the side, and then you're trying to score through the middle with this guy. Why is he on an attack duty in the first place? Now, you might lose some games where this guy ends up not helping you defend. So this, if you want to play with a strong team, okay, but you might run into some trouble. But I can see that these two sides are gonna help you, you know. So you're basically punching through the middle. I guess it can. I wouldn't change too much of it, right? I think it can still work. Pressing forward is going to move in this area. AM is going to roam, and then he's going to be a threat on quite a few zones. But don't make your tempo. Just keep it like this. This should be fine. I would try this out like that. I think that this tactical system can work because you got focus play down the left and the right. Right, so there's always going to be support down the left and the right with the ball. With the roaming playmaker coming in here, this guy is just going to shift to the right, and they both are going to come into this zone when they're attacking. So it's okay. It can work. It can work. It can work. Yeah, I'll just leave it the same way. Yeah, I wouldn't make too many changes. Yeah, just leave it like this. This guy is a wingback. We shoot less. Or you don't need that. You don't need stay wider. Just leave him to play his game. Right? If anything else, I want him to come narrow. I wouldn't want him to go wider. I want him to sit narrow and cut inside with the ball. Right? So I want him to be sitting narrow. So he's gonna, if he dribbles this way. Right? Sometimes that will cause a jam in this area, I guess. You know. So just leave it like this and don't add stay wider just yet. Here. Take more risks. You don't need him to do that. This is your inverted fullback. His job is not to take more risks and go forward. He will, if you want him to go up the pitch, then ask him to overlap or underlap. Here, underlap left influences the positioning of this guy, so he's going to go around him anyway. Yeah. Okay, let's go and play. Oh, you're on Discord. What's your handle on Discord, man? Midoriya. Hey. Yeah, if you're on Discord, you should use the Discord link, not the public link. Yeah. I will not be playing tactics on full unless they come from the Discord link. Yeah. You have to use the Discord link for me to play. Otherwise, I'll just talk about a tactic. Right. You need to be using the Discord link. Yeah. So, roaming playmaker, I would recommend that you play it like this. So, don't do a tactic where you try to get this guy to move in and this guy, because what's going to happen when this guy drops and this guy goes in to score goals, right? Is you sometimes, if you play a weakened team, right, these two are always he's always going to enter the zone to try and score goals, right? So what do you want? If you want this, move into channels, ask him to play as a complete forward on support. Then you got a role that will roam, drop, and do everything that you want him to do so that this guy can score goals as well. So he can roam around the pitch because this is what he will do then. Right? He will dribble more, take more risks, move to Charles, roam from position. He's going to be everywhere now, moving around the pitch, trying to score goals. So that's what I would do with him. Right? I wouldn't just play him as a pressing forward and support. Yeah, because if you play him as a pressing forward and support, and then you start giving him a lot of PIs. Well, you want him to roam, move into channels, or move into channels. Channels is just 1, 2. Right? Roam is going to give him a lot more latitude for a combination where you want this guy to come in because this guy is also roaming, no? And he's taking more risks, so he's not going to help you defensively. So if you lose the ball, you're toast, no, in this side. So you're not going to win the second ball. Yeah. Yeah, next time use the link in the BYT channel. If you use the link in the BYT channel, I'll play the tactics. Otherwise, I'll talk about the tactics. Yeah. Yeah, if you want to emulate the Lewandowski role, the problem is there's no way you can emulate Lewandowski. If Lewandowski, you definitely are using complete forward and support now. Okay. Yeah, Lewandowski was never a pressing forward. It's a complete forward for them. He roams, he creates space for his team. He gets into the area to score goals, but he is also a complete forward. Yeah, you play complete forward. Harry Kane and Lewandowski are all playing as complete forwards for their Bayern Munich. Right now, the two, both of them, I would classify them as complete forwards. This is how I would set it up. Right, so if you do it this way, then it's fine. Complete forward, inside forwards, wing on support, DM here. Take Fury shoot less often. You don't need this. It is like overrated instruction. Yeah. Wing on support, crossing far post like other mark tighter. I would leave this as well. Don't ask him to cross in far post. Yeah, you don't really have anybody attacking the far post, right? What, this guy? This guy's not a far post attacker. Sit narrower, tackle other, mark tighter. This is what I mean by when you apply PIs, right? You see, sit narrower is going to keep him tucked inside where the roaming playmaker is also coming. Because the roaming playmaker is going to come into this zone. So why you want him to sit narrow for? Because this is positional play. Football Manager has got a feature called positional play, right? Use positional play. Positional play, he's going to come up. So you don't want him sitting narrow because then he'll be just holding hands with the roaming playmaker. Why would you want that? Well, you want them to both hold hands. And then they have two players on one opposition player. You're not doing anything. You're not actually moving a team around. You're just creating problems for yourself with focus play even. Because focus play is going to move more players to their side. And they're going to be like, you're going to create a situation where you have three of your players. The idea behind focus play is you draw your team over so they have more of their players next to you. But you don't want all your players standing close together like, hey, hi, how are you doing? Yeah, hey, here's a coffee. Yeah, we only put one guy. So you want more. So this is this would not really work very well. No, this is not Kimpi's tactic. So I would just go, I would remove that. This is fine. It's fine. And then roaming playmaker, fine. I will remove the detect furious is fine with this tactic. IFB, don't ask him to go. You want the IFB to move forward, right? If you want him to move forward, you put an overlap. But the problem with the overlap then is you reduce the effectiveness of this guy because all he does is he's wider and he holds up the ball looking for inside runs. Not really, unless it's this guy. So when the roaming playmaker comes up, this is what's going to happen to your formation. It's going to look like this. So the only downside with this tactic is some of the players are going to be in these positions, right? Wingback is going to be in this position. Yeah, always correct. Midoriya, whenever you play Football Manager, right? Positional play is a great feature in the game, no? But you need to know where those players go. And if you know where those players, you're positioning with intent. You will know where they are. You will then be able to craft a tactic really well because it's not difficult crafting tactics on Football Manager. It is when we apply PIs that mess that whole plan up. So first, do it without any PIs because then you know what the role is giving you. Then and only then do you go in and go, okay, now I want this PI because some of the time I want him to do this. That's how PIs work. PIs are not something that's going to go in and make your tactic like, wunderbar, no, overnight. This is a round outer, AP, poacher, winger, boxer. Hope you got focus play. Who made this tactic? Who made this tactic? This is a very good tactic. Who made this tactic? This tactic is good. This is a brilliant tactic. This is something I would make, man. Yeah, this is a very nice tactic, man. Libero, this is brilliant. Who made this tactic? I want to know. Frederica, this is a very good tactic. Pass into space, low process, focus play on the left. I'm going to play this tactic. I think it's brilliant. This tactic is brilliant. It's got focus play in the right side. He's moving players. This is what I call a tactic which has got intent. Okay, now the crazy thing about this tactic is the box to box again goes up, right? He's going to go up. There's got an IFB that's hanging out here. He's got a Libero that comes out. So he's got a zigzag pattern in the middle of the park, except here, where he's got a poacher and an AP. A playmaker that's roaming, going here, is really aggressively attacking the box and the round out. So he's got these three guys attacking this corner. Now, the only thing that's going to mess this tactic up is tempo. But he's kept it normal. The other thing that's going to mess this tactic up is if you don't have the three players here with high aggression. No, don't worry. And use the link, Midoriya. And it's not a question of making your tactic better. It's a question of, this is not about making your tactic. This is not school. Okay. Hello, excuse me. We're not here. I'm not grading the tactics. Pass, fail. Oh, great. Now you can play. What? This has to be the course for Football Manager. Please come here. Give me your tactic. And then, yes, you are good enough to play Football Manager. This is not that kind of a place, no. You just bring your tactics. I'm just sharing with you my thoughts. Whether my thoughts mean anything is, it's another matter, discussion point. No? Okay. All right, so we made this tactic. Let's watch it on, I think, comprehensive. I want to see the transitions. The only thing here is this gap. See this gap? This gap over here. This is the only problem with this tactic, okay? Now, here, it's going to be these two guys, stamina, work rate, aggression. whether you can cover the zone. Second thing is going to be your defensive line. If your defensive line is too far away, then you need you need a whole position duty. You need a role like maybe a DLP on support, which holds his position, right? So now that's the only downside to this thing. There's only one thing, that might screw us up. Yeah. And we are playing, we only play it is only Nottingham Forest. Come on. If Aston Villa can't beat Nottingham Forest, this is like the certification test for the tactic. Yeah, the gap, right? There's a bit of an issue. So what can we do? If I was in this situation, I immediately go balance. Drop a defensive line slightly. Okay, here he's got Kamsi to get the ball. I know that about him. Tyrone Mings to the ball. Good. See, in terms of the transition of the pitch, we have it, no? The players can be. See, this is when you know your tactic is decent. Okay, this you know. Your transition is there. It means I can win the ball. I can bring the ball up. The roles can bring the ball up. So now the question is, does I make like small tweaks to the tactic? That's it. We don't need major tweaks. Okay, so what can we do? The ball winning midfielder is the first tweak, because a ball winning midfielder tries to win the ball high up the pitch. Right? But there's nobody else behind him. That's the thing, right? So this is like a front foot, no? These guys are going to try and win the ball high up the pitch. So I'm thinking how to do this without making too many changes. Step up more. Okay, this is okay, I guess. Trying to hold that position high up, invite crosses, pass into space. How do we do this? This is going to be funky as well. I'm going to change this guy to a DLP on support to hold his position. Okay, it doesn't matter. This guy is AP on attack. We just want him to hold his position, not go up as well. Highlight change to us. That's a very good sign. That's a very good sign. That is actually a good sign. That tells me something. Oh, the change I made might be decent. Okay. Second highlight is also ours. Nice. We got shot on goal. And okay, the DLP on support might be good for us at the moment, and we got a goal. Is he offside? The walk-ins go offside. Come on now. Give me the goal. Yeah, thank you very much. We got a goal. So the change was a positive one. Okay, that's how you read things. If anybody ever comes to you and tells you your tactic, set pieces, it was a goal from a set piece. It doesn't tell you how good your tactic is. Actually, it's wrong. Okay. Yeah, but though I like. Okay, see now we still have this issue right at the back. Okay, we still have this issue, but now we have a role that's holding. So let's watch what Douglas Luiz does. Let's look at this. Oh, now we have a problem. McGuinness on a yellow card. Now we have an issue. He has a yellow card. So we're going to bring on Boubacar Kamara. You got to react. If you play a two-man midfield and you get a yellow card, you better react, man. You can't afford him to be in a yellow card, because both of them cannot have a yellow card. See, that's what we wanted. This is what we wanted. Okay, so he's in that position that we need him to be. Now as he goes up, he's still holding, but he's not too far up, right? He's still holding that relative central position that we want in the tactic. So we scored our second goal. So I like the tactic from the get-go. I thought he had potential. Because it's exactly how I would set it up. We wanted to play with two central midfielders, because I have got a similar 4-2-3-1 in my bin, where I have created a tactic which has got a focus play on one side so I can release players. Can't use this. You see what I've done here? And these two are creating a numerical advantage. I mean, I won't call it numerical. It's only 3 versus 2, right? But they're attacking the channel. So, you see, this guy has to worry about 2 players now. That's why the poacher is such a good role. The poacher is hands down the best role for this kind of a setup. Like poacher, AP attack, Raumdauter. Love it. Yeah. You can even play a winger on attack. That Raumdauter role now has become any role you can put on attack duty, except for Trequartista. So you can put like a winger on attack. You can put a Raumdauter on attack. You can play inside for attack. You name it now. You just go in there. It's just happy. This is a happy position. Kimpik took 2 years to pass the Bustthenet FM examination. Oh, Kimpy. I remember Kimpy's tactics at the day one. quite fun, quite challenging. But yeah, look, Kimpi is not a pro. All his tactics are pro tactics. Last time, yeah, I remember Kimpi, your tactics need a lot of changes, right? I still remember those days. But now your tactics are quite classic. Okay, so we did okay. Yeah, so I'm happy with this tactic. I'm probably not going to make any more changes. We're going to go Kia, only a commentary mode now. Yeah, don't bother. Yeah, I just look at the numbers now and see who gets injured. See who gets injured. Okay, let's have some fun with this role. Okay, I tell you, this role, we can do anything we want. This is one of those tactics you can do anything. What do you want to do this role? I don't know. Put him. I have no clue what I'm going to do. It just became a wing on attack. Okay, all right. Wing on attack now is stretching the pitch. Look at that. I'm telling you guys, right? I don't understand why people don't change roles and duties in the game of Football Manager. It's just one of the most bizarre things I've ever heard. Okay, I'm not making any changes to my tactic in case it falls apart. That's because you don't know what the fuck your tactic is doing in the first place. Okay. That's the only reason why people don't make changes to their tactic. Because they don't know what to do. Because they don't know what impact it has on tactics. That's why. So don't be that person. I always found it very funny when people go, no, you can't make changes to tactics. I mean, we had players come on my stream, right? And I changed my mentality. That's it. You're going to lose. Or the only reason why you're winning is because you're on an attacking mentality. I'm like, who the? Huh? Where did that come from? This is brilliant. I love this tactic. Yeah. So you can see, right? You can change this role to anything you want. I love this. That was a great tactic, man. This is a great... I don't know who you are because you just submitted a tactic. Whoever you are, this is a phenomenal tactic. This position is an any role tactic. And this is how focus play should be used in Football Manager. This is brilliantly done. I love this. This is a brilliant tactic. Right. Very nice. Very, very nice tactic. Okay, this is like, for me, Fred, everybody should have this tactic. Okay, we put this. Sorry, yeah. That's the downside of submitting your tactics. Because if I feel like it, the whole world gets your tactic. Dropbox. I don't know who you are, but, you know, I'll just put in the FM 24. Come on, son. Public. Okay. Why am I saving things here or what? Profeto, yeah, Dropbox. FM 24. Public. Oh, did somebody just go in? I don't believe it now. One of you deleted the whole folder again. Hey, there's anything to make me stop streaming. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it, no. Some donkey just deleted the whole folder. I need to check Dropbox right now. I'm not taking any more tactics. I think somebody deleted the whole folder again. Yeah, somebody deleted the whole folder. Let me check properly. Or I could be just getting angry for no reason. Yeah, no, the folder is gone. Yeah. The tactics folder is gone. You guys don't like each other. Yeah, somebody. That's why we keep it. If you want to. Yeah. No. Our Discord one is fine. Our Discord one is fine. It's a public Dropbox folder. Just went or somebody just wiped the whole thing. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why it's very strange. You guys. It's very annoying. I won't say it's annoying, but I don't know why people do that. Yeah. The whole folder has been wiped. Discord is fine. But somebody wiped. Some miserable idiot decided, you know what? I don't like the Football Manager community, so I'm going to destroy all your folders. There used to be there was a way for me to undelete files. I don't want to waste my time doing it. No. Well, it's like I'm decided a long time ago. If people are gonna do it, people don't like the fact that you guys get tactics and all that. I mean, they want to destroy. They want to like mess it up. That's up to them. So that people get frustrated, I guess. And they come in, they don't like, and they're gonna delete all the tactics. I'm trying to see who deleted them. But the whole folder was deleted. No, somebody decided they were cretins and they decided to download the tactics folder in the Dropbox. Yeah. No, they didn't touch Discord one. This is one of the reasons why we have a separate Discord and a public folder. No? That's why I do it this way. I know what's going to happen. It's happened before. Okay, we've got the tactics folder back in again for FM24. But things like scale, views and all that, training schedules, all that, they're all gone. I'm going to try and share them from our BY. I mean, it's like, I'm just going to copy across, views. Filters. Copy. Public. Copy. Yeah, I'll do most of it later. Okay, I just put the tactics folders in first and filters. I'm not gonna do everything. Just it's just crazy that somebody. I just realized it when I went in because some people probably they just don't know how to use Dropbox links, you know. They go in there, I'm deleting this tactic, I delete my own tactic, I'm gonna upload something else, and then accidentally delete the whole folder. Probably one of you did that. I don't think people are malicious enough to go in there and go, I'm gonna delete this, I'm gonna delete that. Yeah. But the thing is, the Dropbox folder now doesn't have things like the uh, the views for the Dr. Jit tool. So I might have to fix that and then put it in. So I'm gonna go look at a few more tactics, quickly talk through them. Then I'm gonna have to go and fix that. Okay, I need to go and fix that. So looking at the rest of the tactics have been brought in. Bex 433. AP, this tactic is not gonna work, man. This tactic is just gonna have it's just gonna be problematic. Because if you're gonna attack somebody with this tactic, you're probably gonna spend a lot of time defending. And then the trap outside, you got these two guys on attack duty and you want them to trap. This is where the opposition are coming. It's not gonna work. It's just gonna you trap outside and stop cross. There's nobody trapping. I got bad news for you. They're all attacking. Basically what they've done is, hey guys, come down the flanks. But we got nobody defending the flanks. It won't work. Plus this Romy playmaker is going up, this AP is going up. We got all these fellas attacking. It's just flooding the forward lines with everybody attacking. It's not gonna give you any. It's just gonna. Yeah, you probably better off doing something like this. Full back attack. Use this as Carrielos. Don't have to get them to attack. And then get these. These are fine. This guy's roaming. Leave it like that. Or these guys can be pressing force on attack. Okay, this is a complete forward roaming. This guy's going to run the channels. And then these guys are going to come left and right to support play. These guys are going to come up the pitch. You don't have to go this way. And there's hit early crosses doesn't really work on Football Manager. And I'll remove this. Yeah, these two are removed. Yeah, you probably can play like this. You can do invite crosses as well, but I don't think it's really gonna help you. You got no wingers to help you come back. You're just gonna keep them narrow. So fullbacks on attack, these two guys can be the same duty. That's it. Play something like this, and you probably be better on the public. Yeah, the public folder has disappeared. Somebody deleted the Dropbox folder for everyone. Again. So that is a tactic that you can use. Maybe next year I'm just gonna have a Discord tactic folder for you guys. Everybody else, I'm just gonna upload, but there's not gonna be any more public Dropbox folders anymore. I think from next year onwards, right? I'm not gonna do a public Dropbox folder for anyone. But I think that's the goal. I think that's what people want. I don't understand why people do that in the first place. Complete forward, advanced forward. I mean, why do you have a Mazala on attack and a complete forward coming down? And you just want to have one fella that you want to score goals with. I mean, I'll probably go, just leave this on attack, leave this on support. You gotta do a really old-fashioned one, right? Yeah, I saw the 4-3-3. It was a good 4-3-3. Hey, Whiplash, thanks for the 10 gifted subs, man, on the channel. Thank you, everyone, for the gifted subs. Yeah, I mean, thank you. I mean, thanks for cheering me up. But I'm a bit disappointed. People go out there and... this is a public Dropbox folder for all of you, And somebody just went there and just decided to delete it. What a cretin. I hope I'll be the fleas of 1,000 camels infest your armpits, man. Okay, roam from position, tackle. This guy is roaming, but you got a complete wingback attacking wingback. Okay, fine. I guess this will play to his attributes. Complete forward attack will be fine. Complete wingback can go left or right. Wide center back attack. These guys are coming up the pitch. I get what you're trying to do. This is like a very aggressive, everybody come up. And higher defensive line is the way this is going to work. Yeah. You want them to get up the pitch and try and... why don't you turn this guy into a ball winning if you don't support? Then you got a really rugged center. Well, you can punch through with the flank, but when they attack, it'll be a cross heavy tactic. Hit early cross. Underlap left, widest player holds up the ball looking for inside runs. There's nothing that's happening in this tactic that's going to help you with inside runs. Okay. Yeah, guys, too high up, which is the final third instruction. It's not a. Isn't this like a. When you have the ball and it kicks in around here, you know, underlap. It doesn't occur here. Yeah, it doesn't rarely occur. It doesn't occur here. So I would just leave it like this. Wing back on center will be fine. I would just leave the tactic like this and launch attacks. Launch attacks. This could work. Yeah, this could. And then okay, then let's look at this. I think we've done all of them. The 3-4-2-1 is the only one. Yeah, 3-4-2-1, Ali Chosa's tactic. Don't underlap. Don't put the underlap. Remove the underlap. Yeah, these kind of tactics, they're never coming back to help you defend. That's what you gotta expect with this tactic. So much higher defensive line. They're never coming back to defend. Just accept that. If you want them to defend, you're gonna use defensive wingers on support. Okay? That's the only time. Okay. I will probably change these two to defensive wingers on support. They're not coming back. Whatever it is, they're not coming back. Don't expect them to defend. DM, DLP, keep the center. Poacher. Yeah, leave it like this and then attack. It is possible to make this tactic work. Yeah. But work ball into box. I would only do that if you consistently go down the byline. Yeah, because this is going to be defensive wingers. They can definitely go, they will go down the flanks, no? But if you want them to be a bit more aggressive like wingers on attack, then do this. There you go, your winger. But he's got this, close down more and tackle harder, which is what we want these guys to do. So if you want these guys to be like very aggressive wingers on attack, then you give them these PIs, they'll do it some of the time, but their priority will also be helping you defend. This is how you set it up. No, Liverpool can spend up to 400 million in transfer window. I said that before, yeah. They will still clear PSR. Yeah, they can spend 400 million this transfer window. $500 million they can spend, they know it. And it's a chance for them to build their team up and get them into a position to do that. And I think that will happen. I wanted your tactic was good, no? But I only made one change. Yeah, you want to change, say loudly, your tactic, telling the FB on the left to become an IFB. Yeah. Agree. I think if you do that, you close out the game, you make a solid tactic. Yeah. The only downside with the tactical system, once again, any system that uses three midfielders, the premium is of course going to be, is always going to be, do you have the midfielders to finish the job? That's it. If you have the midfielders to finish the job, yeah, great tactic, great system, but you need the midfielders to finish the job. So that's how it's going to work. So I would recommend that whenever anybody plays with a 4-3-3, go out there, just get the players. Yeah, wait. And you could I think make that system do really well. But it's a system that's dependent on those three midfielders. Yeah. And once again, guys, now I've got to go and sort out that Dropbox folder. I don't know why someone would go in and delete your Dropbox folder. It's your public Dropbox folder. It's not the first time it's happened. This is the second time it's happened. I have to do there is an audit trail. I can find out who the person is. Yeah, I can, because that's one of the reasons why I use Dropbox. I don't want to ban the Joker from the stream. I guess it's just sometimes people make mistakes. Right? They click the wrong button. I don't know how they do it. No? How does anybody consciously go there unless somebody's really pissed off? I know one guy doesn't like me very much out there in the community. Yeah, he's a blogger, I guess. What you call him, a blogger or whatever the shit he is. Yeah. You never know. Could be, he usually gets up on the wrong side of the bed 24 hours a day. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming on today's stream. Let me go sort this out. You guys stay safe, take care of yourselves. And hey, have a great one, man.